Hello again, my DIY loving friends, and welcome to Medicated Housewife DIY, where crafting and mental health come together. Are you ready to elevate your living space on a budget? Well, in this video, transform your home, Luxe Decor with Dollar Tree DIYs anyone can master. Discover how to create stunning designer dupes inspired by anthropology and CB2 using affordable Dollar Tree finds. Watch as we unlock the secrets to high-end decor on a dime, proving that luxury doesn't have to come with a hefty price tag. So what are you waiting for? Let's go DIY together. For this DIY, I saw this leopard tray at Anthropology for $178, and I knew I had to dupe it using this rectangular tray from Dollar Tree and painting it with Rust-Oleum black gloss spray paint, which I will link for you below in the description box. I Google image searched an illustration of a leopard, and I liked this one and sized it for my tray in Canva. Next, I grabbed some white tissue paper from Dollar Tree and some Reynolds freezer paper, which you can get at the supermarket, but I will also link some for you below. I rip off a large piece of freezer paper and a large piece of tissue, and we will be cutting them down to printer paper size. And I'm going to iron the tissue paper to the shiny side of the freezer paper with a regular iron. And just a note here, you need to iron the edges of your paper, which we will be cutting to 8.5 by 11. You need to iron the edges, but not so much the middle of the paper. I made the mistake of ironing too well all over the paper, and it was impossible to separate afterwards. I had to redo it. So iron all your edges and not the middle. Then I ran my freezer and tissue paper combo through my printer, making sure the print was on the tissue paper side. Next, we will gently peel the tissue paper off of the freezer paper, and if you ironed correctly on the edges and not the middle, your design should peel off intact, but I advise you do this peeling slowly so as to not rip your design. Once my design is peeled off, I make a rectangle cut around the design, and because I want to use my tissue paper design on a black surface, I'm going to paint the back of the tissue paper with some white paint, which will make the design much more opaque, and the colors will really pop. I am using apple barrel white paint, which I will link for you below, and remember, I'm painting the back of the design, not the printed side, and I only want to paint the actual design, not the rest of the paper, as you see me doing right here. Once my white paint is totally dry, I'm going to carefully cut out the leopard design, doing my best not to rip it and to cut as much of the background away as I possibly can. I quickly place it on my now very glossy black tray just to make sure it's going to fit in the location that I want. Now, I wanted my tray to have gold trim around the outside edge and the inner edge, and I didn't want to risk messing it up with paint. So I'm using this very thin gold metallic tape. I found it on Amazon and I will link it for you below. It's kind of like a washi tape, and this will make it way easier and way quicker to get that gold edging all around my tray on the outside edge and in the inside edges. With my gold tape in place, I again place my leopard down and figure out exactly where I want him to go. I'm using some glossy Mod Podge to decoupage my leopard to the tray. So to avoid as many wrinkles as I can, I'm going to go in small sections and not overload the Mod Podge, just to get the leopard down securely on the tray and minimizing my wrinkles in the process. Once the design is down, I use some more Mod Podge to go over the edges of the design to ensure that there are no gaps. And after I get the edges, I do my first coat on top of the design. After that, we will allow the design to dry a bit before continuing with more Mod Podge. Then I paint the whole tray, including the gold tape, with the glossy Mod Podge, first with one coat all over, and when that fully dries, I'm going to go back and go over it one more time. And this is my ultra sophisticated leopard in gold tray, and what can I say? She's very classy in my opinion, but not classy enough to warrant a $178 price tag at Anthropology. I'll take our Dollar Tree version for practically under $2. Thank you very much. I can't wait to make more of them. This next DIY, full disclosure, I had to restart this project multiple times and you will see why. First, I started with this gray plastic bowl that comes in a set of 2 from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to spray paint it with Rust-Oleum gloss white, which I will link for you below. I'm also using one of these bamboo rings from Dollar Tree and a wood dowel also from Dollar Tree. I'm using this Beacon 3-in-1 glue, which I will link for you below, and it's my first time using it, but you will see it is not the right glue for this project. I took one of these small wood circles from my stash, and I'm going to use the Beacon glue to attach the 4-inch piece of wood dowel that I cut to the small wood circle for stability, and then I'm going to let it dry. I'm using this folk art brushed metal paint in brushed gold, and I will link it for you below, to paint the bamboo hoop and to paint the wood dowel and the wood circle. I used some of that Beacon glue to attach the hoop to the dowel off camera, and I grabbed this oval wood plaque from Dollar Tree that I had painted from a previous project, and I decided to use that as my base. So, thinking that some E6000 would be strong enough to hold the hoop and the dowel to the wood plaque base, I went ahead and gave that a try, and I was mistaken. It did not hold that very well at all. So onto round 2 of this project. The white paint peeled right off my gray plastic bowl. I grabbed one of these clear plastic bowls that comes in a pack from Dollar Tree, and to try my luck with that. But first I used my hot glue gun just to make 2 small holes in the bowl on each side of the bowl opposite each other before taking it outside to spray paint it. And you'll notice some changes on my hoop too. I took 2 small wood half rounds, painted the same color, gold, glued them on opposite sides of the inside of the hoop to help hold our bowl in place. I also drilled a small hole in the bottom middle of the hoop with hopes that it will help secure that wood dowel that's attached to the base. Now off camera, I do end up trimming that dowel a little shorter, and I use some sandpaper to sand the end of the dowel to a little bit of a point, kind of like a pencil, again with hopes that it would make it stay in the hole in the hoop more securely. Okay, so now my clear bowl is white, and I've put 2 small zip ties from Dollar Tree through the 2 little holes on each side of the inside of the bowl that we made with that hot glue gun, and then I am wrapping those 2 zip ties over the hoop above the gold half rounds and slowly tightening them little by little so I can adjust where my bowl is going to sit inside the hoop. And hopefully that makes sense to you. After I tighten the zip ties and cut off the excess, now I'm going to give them a quick coat of the brushed gold paint on the zip ties so they will blend in with the gold hoop. I don't paint the zip ties inside the bowl because they are white and they blend in already. So my E6000 did not hold my dowel to the wood base, and I had to break out the big guns. I end up using this Loctite construction adhesive, which I will link for you below, and I used that on the small wood round and dowel to attach it to the base. I'm using those tumbling tower blocks just to hold the dowel up completely straight until it dries. They are not part of the design. Then I'm using a toothpick to apply some of the construction adhesive to the sanded point of my dowel. Then I place the hole that's in the bottom of the hoop on top of the wood dowel, and I hold my breath and surround the whole project with jars just to hold everything in place, and I don't touch it again for 24 hours for that construction adhesive to fully dry. And I wasn't sure we'd make it here, but here's my floating bowl inspired by a set of floating bowls currently selling for $87 at Target. Ours cost about $4 to make. Not bad, and it's kind of cool looking, strong enough to hold very light things, but very nice to look at and a beautiful addition to your home decor. This next DIY starts with one of these glass bowls from Dollar Tree, as well as this empty tape roll from the trash, and some scrap cardboard also from the trash, and a couple of tumbling tower blocks from Dollar Tree. I use a pencil to trace the outside of the tape roll as well as the inside of the tape roll. Then, using a scissors, I cut out the outer circle that I just drew. The tape roll is going to fit onto the cardboard, and I figured I'd give that Beacon glue another shot to attach my cardboard and tape roll to one another and to see if it could redeem itself. Then I cut 2 scrap squares of cardboard and glued them one on top of another inside the tape roll, followed by the 2 tumbling tower blocks glued on their sides and in a V shape on top of the scrap cardboard squares. I'm going to spray paint this tape roll with the same gold spray paint as the bowl, but I thought it'd be better to give it a base coat of white first. So that'll give the gold color something to hold on to. So using some apple barrel white paint, I paint the inside of the tape roll, blocks and everything, as well as a coat of the white on the outside of the tape roll too. And I do love this shade of gold on the bowl, but honestly didn't like the textured look of the cardboard tape roll. So I decided to simply cover that whole roll with my gold metallic tape from the earlier project. Honestly, if I had a dime for every time a project took another turn in this video, well, I'd have a lot of dimes. Forget about plan B. We're talking plan C, D, and E too. That's okay though, we'll just keep going. And in yet another turn, my bowl was not fitting nicely with those blocks in there, so I just ripped them out, and that solved my problem. I'm using a good dose of E6000 to attach my bowl to the tape roll because the bowl is glass and it is fairly heavy. And this is my modern gold candle holder, and it is a dupe of this candle holder from CB2, and honestly, I couldn't find the price for this one, but I'm willing to bet it's a lot more than the roughly $2 we spent on our gold candle holder. Quick, easy, and upscale. Everything you could ask for in a DIY dupe. And you know the drill. I want to know what you think. Let me know in the comments which one of these Luxe Decor Dollar Tree DIYs was your favorite and why. You know I love hearing from all of you. And if you've enjoyed this DIY video, there's even more waiting for you. Just click that link on your screen for more Medicated Housewife DIYs. Also, I'd love for you to join our little crafting family and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and until next time, my name is Sarah. I'm the Medicated Housewife, and crafting is my medication.